So, guys, do you think your partner is about to cheat? Is having an idea of cheating? Well, how to keep your partner from cheating? This is an intentional strategy. So, guys, infidelity can be a turmoil in any relationship. It can be devastating. And so when you think this is about to happen, yeah, it's about to happen. And so you want to spend time understanding why, why they would want to do with that, talk about it, come up with a strategy on how to prevent this. And one of the things is communication. If you can have open communication, be honest about feelings, get to the bottom of why things are happening, then you may be able to forge this off, hold it off until you guys can get help and not have this move forward. So, building emotional intimacy, this is going to be the foundation of any relationship. You need to have that close bond. And one of those ways is to do weekly check in to see how the other person is doing. How are they holding up? How are you holding up? And then you'll be able to understand what that person is going through. So the next thing is fostering transparency. You need to be transparent in what you're doing and what the other person is doing. Be be consistent with your words. Um, Talk about things. Be open about things. Don't hide anything and say, "Oh, this person may feel bad about what I'm going to say." Say it and get it out. So the other thing, and when you're open with that person, it's always good to see what has been in that person's past that would make them want to cheat now. If you know you're doing everything in your powers to hold your relationship together, then you have to see what past trauma that person has been through and why there is a need for them to go into infidelity. Because infidelity is not something that a person in a loving relationship thinks about. Something has to be wrong. And it's not necessarily wrong with you, but it could be, as I said, past trauma. And it's good to acknowledge those trauma, bring those trauma to the forefront, and then you can adjust and address those trauma. Transparency about whereabouts that the person is, the person's intention, um, there it will restore some sort of confidence in you when you know these things, like where the person is. You have no idea where they are, and so you're conjuring up all kinds of things in your head when you don't know where the person is. But that transparency to say, I am here, this is what I'm doing, you have that confidence to say, okay, this is what they're doing. Even though a person can lie, but you need to know. You need to know what is going on. And so with this, you want to develop physical intimacy. This is going to be so important in your relationship because physical affection, you know, it's really strengthens bond. Things like holding hands, um, whispering, saying nice words, those things is that physical attribute that is in the relationship that's going to make you guys real strong. A lot of couples don't touch. They live together and they really don't touch. They don't hold hands. They don't hugs. They after years of being together, they don't do those things. They don't hug. They don't do anything. They don't whisper to each other. Smile at each other without being a joke, just because you're happy that you're seeing that person, so you're smiling. You have People don't do that. And so you've got to keep the passion alive. You've got to be intentional. Not being intentional, it's not going to work. So you have to be intentional. You have to do things together. Always be doing things together. It keeps you closer. You develop a closer knit, and the bond will be unbreakable. So always have that. Share goals and future plans. That's one thing that you should do. Set mutual goals. When you have the same goals, you're aiming for the same thing. So that's important. And then plan your future together. What are we going to do in 5 years? What are we going to do in 10 years? You know, how are we going to do it? What are we aiming for? So those are the things that should be prioritized, is planning your future together. You're gonna celebrate milestones that together. Don't forget the important milestones. The anniversary is a big thing. Sometimes a partner forget the anniversary, forget the birthdays and special moments that has happened in life. They tend to forget. So this is one thing that you need to celebrate together, is the milestone. Don't let these things pass. Whatever achievements happen in life, always try to remember this. And so with this is the nice part, but sometimes there is the most more difficult parts, like conflict. There's going to be conflict, so you have to develop conflict resolution skills. You've got to have that. You've got to know how to handle disagreement, and you've got to do it constructively. You can't go off the handle and be screaming that. You have to be able to communicate and to handle these things. So don't go off the handle. Approach conflict with empathy. You've got to empathize. Don't go crazy. Empathize with the other person, and that will make them feel better about themselves. Don't accuse them. Don't do anything like that. Just make sure that you're empathizing with them. Statement, use statement that express feelings. Always use statement that express feelings. And avoid the blame game. Don't, it's you, it's your fault, you caused it. That Forget the blame game. The blame game is not going to work. You come up with a different plan, but don't use it, because what you need to have is solution, not whose fault is it, not blaming someone else. Just make sure that there's no blame. Mutual understanding prevents reoccurring incidents. So forget about the blame game. So another big thing is managing external temptation, setting boundaries. People seem to forget all about boundaries now. Most times there's no boundaries. Boundaries are out the window. You know, clarify, you got to clarify what is acceptable behaviors, mutual agreements when it comes to behavior. You've got to have boundaries. You can't go be doing things that is just out of order and making the other party uncomfortable. So you've got to always set boundaries. And so when you're setting boundaries, you will avoid risky behaviors. because that comes very easily. That can come very easily. You get caught up in risky behavior and risky situations that is just sometimes it gets out of control and you can't rectify things. So be mindful of compromising situations. Keep away from compromising situation. And so you've got to invest in, again, communication. Talk about things. Understand. As I said, set boundaries. Know that you don't do certain things that's going to put you in certain situation. And when you're in certain situation, anything can happen. This is how infidelity can start. So forget that. So another thing is personal growth. Invest in personal growth because it's only for your development. It's only going to make you better. And so encourage mindful mental development for each person in the relationship should always be doing some sort of personal development. It's only going to benefit you. Support each other, and you support each other, and support each other's dreams. Know what this person wants in the future, what they're aiming for, and be there for them. Sometimes you may not agree, you may not think it's worthwhile, but you have to understand it's their dream. And each person is allowed to have their dreams, to aim for their dreams, and have a support system there for them. And so, always remember spending quality time together is a must. It's a must. Because how can you want to have a flourishing relationship? And if you're not spending quality time together, you've got to spend quality time. You've got to create memorable experiences. Do things that is going to remain in your heart, remain in your brain, and you can always go back to that time when it was really good. And, you know, even when the time has passed, the memory is going to always be in your heart. You're going to carry that memory with you forever. So plan things, plan adventurous things, plan fun things that the other person will enjoy. It's not only for you, but the other person will enjoy it also. And simple weekend getaway. Do you like camping? Camping is one great thing that both parties can go and they can experience it and enjoy it. Have regular date nights. You could dress up, you could go out on the town, you could go to some fancy restaurant, or you could keep it very simple. Go out to just a casual restaurant. You could do like what is it? Sip and paint, or you could simply go for a walk. And hey, Netflix and chill with a glass of wine is never, never outdated. So that is one thing that you can do. And you can also do a simple picnic in the park. Just both of you. Picnic in the park. Easily, easily, easily. And so, being appreciative and kind, sharing, sharing your thoughts is always, always going to be appreciated by your partner. Always. It's good. It's a good thing. And so acknowledge each other. Always acknowledge each other. Don't ignore as if the other person is not there or be nonchalant about things. Be intentional in your acknowledgement and acknowledge them. One thing that men always want, and I'll tell you, men want acknowledgement. They always want to feel wanted, always want to feel loved, always want to feel respected. So that is one thing that you can do. And so I'm going to close it off here, but I'm going to tell you, seek professional help. Yes, sometimes there are things that you can't fix, that both of you can't fix, and you need that professional person that can mitigate and help you guys understand what is going on in your relationship and how you're to deal with it. So, guys, this is all for now. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll bring you more videos like this. Take care and have yourself some fun. Bye.